Hey guys, this is Mage with a World of Warcraft classic guide for Zul'Farrak. This is a solo guide at this current level, 44, which is what I would recommend starting it at. It is possible at 42. Um, I wouldn't recommend it. It's your aggro range is higher, less chance to just make it to the graveyard alone. Not to mention just resist, which wipe you, and stuff like this. So, yeah, 44 is what I would stick with. Um, Key things to note here: undead and gnome are safe. The rest are iffy. You use some LOS in this guide, in these runs, and if your head sticks over the box, you're going to be a target, looking like Goofy from the Disney movies, just ready to get slapped in the face with shadow bolts. So I would suggest Noggin Fogger Elixir or Deviate Delights to counter this. It's going to shrink your hitbox, um, making it possible to do. So um, healing potions, mana potions, 2 mana gems. These are recommended. Um, I would say if nothing else, a clean run, you could probably get away with just mana potions if you don't have the mana. You need at least 4,000 mana to do this. If you have gear, plus spell power gear, don't use it. Switch to your stamina and int gear. Eagle gear is going to be your best friend. I have a couple pieces of spell power gear, which I just didn't see the need to replace because I was at this threshold of 4,000 and 1,700. Um, yeah, so let's get started on the talents here. I don't run this build typically. Actually, before I started doing Zul'Farrak solo, I was fire. So um, the progression of this as you're leveling would be a question for somebody else and not me. But if you just respect to this, I can let you know what to go. So you want to do 3 elemental precision, max out frost warding, maxed out imp nova, and permafrost, which is super important. Um, Ice shards, 5 of 5, 3 of 3, piercing ice. As I level, I'll be dumping into Shadow, or Shatter, um, or Arcane Subtlety, which I'll go into that in a minute. Um, Frost Channeling, this is super important. Reduces the mana cost to your Frost spells by 15%. You're going to need it. When the pack drops, typically I'm out of mana. I mean completely tapped. Sometimes I have to use my wand. So it's right there. It's totally doable, and you're completely safe. You can make it happen. You're a mage, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you're Blizzard's, fanboy, or Star Child. I mean, so Arctic Reach also super important for Cone of Cold. Um, Ice Block, Imp Cone of Cold, which is also super important. Ice Block is as well. A lot of people opt out of Ice Barrier and go for Arcane Subtlety. I personally prefer the Ice Barrier for the oops moments, or the, oops, I got too close, leeway mechanic took place, whatever. So you'll see how it kind of all plays out, and these kind of synergize and work together for this specific thing. Aside from typical AoE builds, you don't go Improve Blizzard, which is going to differ from most people that think they're able to just walk in here and do this. Those 3 points are much better spent elsewhere. It's the difference between having Ice Barrier or being maxed out on Winter's Chill or Imp Cone of Cold. I mean, it's just, don't do it for this. Respec afterwards. Obviously, you're a mage. Like I said, anything's possible. You could come in here with this and do it fine, but make your life easier. This death run is not fun, and the overall effectiveness of the solo run is just taken aback by stupid shit. So, yeah. Okay, so I'll just kind of get into it here, and we'll do the run, and you can kind of see where I'm going. Stop, pause, rewind. Look at it more carefully. I'll try to catch everything notable as we're running. Yeah, just get started. Ice Barrier and Mana Shield. You want to mount up. Mount is also necessary for this. If you don't have a mount, don't even try it. You're wasting your time. You start behind these boxes, and you go. Kind of play middle here. You will aggro these things. Don't turn around to look. Don't get dazed. If you get dazed, you're probably going to wipe. You can jump and kind of spin to help with that. You come out here, blink into this corner, and jump behind these boxes. And that's a little funny sometimes. Everything stops in its tracks. You are LOS. You will catch this guy more often than not. Pather, which is super annoying. If he's a caster, he'll cast on you. Sometimes there are. You want to kill these too if you can. These things are super annoying. This is a funny spot. It's a tough place to be in. They just act weird in this first one for some reason. I never really feel in danger like I'm gonna die, but they definitely. This guy won't de-aggro, which won't let you mount again. So if this happens and you're kind of at the stalemate with this guy, what you need to do is get on this side of the block and LOS him, and he will continue to path. By getting over here, though, you will most likely aggro this chick here, which will cast Shadow Bolts on you. Interrupt it. She'll either turn around, or she won't, but regardless, it'll give this guy a ton of path, and you can come back to the side and kind of come back right back around. You'll see what I mean here. See, he pathed. She didn't pull, actually, which is good for us. He gets to this corner. I switch. It seems super complicated. It's really not. It's just a collection of maybe 5 or 6 runs that you kind of put this stuff together, figure out what works, and then just apply it. This first box, I would say, is the hardest to get the positioning right. Then get out of combat, and then you take back off. You head towards these boxes. Spin, so you don't get dazed there. Demount, blink, jump behind these. You're going to take a lot of damage there. As long as you get here quick enough, you'll be okay. One of the main things I could say as I'm doing this is this next run, this has to be fast. You run straight in, you do your little spin up here, and you jump, you blink, and you get behind here as quick as you can. You jump over this corner so you don't get hung up on it. This is where you'll wipe the most likely, learning these. After you learn them, it's kind of like no big deal. You get used to it, but yeah, I'd say this is the toughest part right here, because they all, if you don't get back here quick enough, pretty much they converge over here, and this is an opening here, which makes it really tough. It just makes your life really down and end up wiping, so that's my best advice I can give there is get mounted up for this guy. Stick to the right side here, because these are casters over there, so you can LOS them right here and they can't cast on you. They have no choice but to follow. And make that jump, because if you don't like that, that's bad. They went through my ice barrier and into my mana shield, which is fine for right now, but ideally you'd want to make that jump over that pot. My bad, see I got dazed there. We should still be alright. That blink didn't help, so my blink timer is bad. I'm going to throw mana shield back up. I'm actually going to a health pot here. Ideally, you run past these guys, you jump, you do what you need to do, and you get past them, and once you get to here, you're fairly safe. We're gonna beat these guys, no problem. Don't make this jump mounted. Most times you will be back here mounted. If you do, you'll get hung up. You can make it mounted, but I don't recommend it, because if you get hung up there and they are closer to following you, you'll be screwed. Once you're back here for a certain amount of time, they despawn. See, it shows I'm out of combat now. Okay, so they just disappear. But yeah, most of the time they run back. It's just a little glitchy there for a second, but okay. The aggro is gone. Come back out. One thing I'll say about these right here, in a fresh instance, for the sake of the video and saving time, I've already killed these pathers and killed a couple of these graves before I knew I was going to do this video. So typically you would have a pather that comes here, walks right up, comes about right here, stops, turns around, goes back. He will fuck you. He will catch you doing your little thing out here. He'll add. There's no guarantee on what it'll be. I think most of the time it's like a Fury Warrior NPC type thing, so he self-heals and does some other things that are really annoying. Another one is up here. There's a shaman that comes in here. It's got healing totems, healing spells, caster, obviously very bad for kiting. My best advice, even at 44, I think it's totally possible. I did it. You come in here, you hop up there. When you get down, you wait for the pather, you kill him. You come over here, you eat, drink, make sure you're full, put your shields up, and you kill her. I would assume the best thing to do would kind of be right here, start the combat. She'll walk back here, and when she gets to here, start casting on her. That way when she goes to cast back or do something funny, you can LOS her, cause her to come back around, pop back out, stop her, cause her to cast again, LOS her. She'll continue to come back around. It'll buy you just a little bit of time to be able to kind of win that mana battle that you'll be in with her. So it's a tough fight. You got it. No big deal. And the next thing that is crucial to be able to make this happen would be to break this threshold right here. Walk in there just a little bit past that, come out, and then jump up on this platform. When you do that, it aggroes the boss, because when you first walk in here, he will be friendly. When you break that, he'll aggro. It'll start the encounter. You come out, you jump right up on here, right behind this little fire pit, and you can just stand anywhere in this area. As long as you're up on this elevation, you're fine. He'll de-aggro, everything will reset, you're good to go. You hop down off this way, come back around. The reason you do that is because this boss mechanic, this fight mechanic, when these graves spawn and the zombies come out, they run to him, check, yo, what's up, dude? You know, hey, we're killing this dude. Okay, you know, then they come after you. If you don't aggro the boss and you click on these graves, they will spawn, but they won't go check with the boss. He's not in the encounter yet. He will be friendly. They will hop right out of their grave and murk you. So don't be me the first time I did it and miss that part and just die and wonder, you know, what the hell happened. So yeah, so I've killed the Pathers, just to clarify. Killed that Pather, and I've started the boss up to this point, just to save time on the video, make it not unbearably long. Make sure you're buffed, you know, your ice barrier and your mana shield. And I would start closest to the boss and click these graves. You want to click them quick. If you start clicking here and 10 seconds later you're still clicking up in here, it can spell danger, because they're all going to run back to the boss and come back to you. And when that happens, if they're too spread out and you have to blow your ice block, you'll see what I mean. Your ice block will be over, and the last ones that you click won't make it back to you in time. It'll cause for a little messy encounter. So, you know, just be safe and do it this way. We're gonna go ahead and start. So you just click these.
I can't loot that right now. I need to get closer.
Okay, at this point here, I'm going to blink up here, give myself a little bit of time, ice block. I did that so these guys have time to go back and come back. Quite a bit of them here. I'm going to blow my ice block, open them all, read barrier, and we're going to get them out here. You go in circular motions to group them up. Trust me, you want to group them up. If you kite straight, they spread out, they stand side by side, it makes your life miserable. See there, I took a lot of damage.
Isn't ready yet.
Typically, you don't backpedal, right? I mean, we've all heard the PvP term, you know, don't, you know, backpedaling noobs, whatever. I personally didn't have backpedal bound. I had to make a bind for it for this, because leeway mechanic. If you're moving and they're moving, their hit range increases. So when you're backpedaling, it doesn't trigger leeway. So you backpedal right before you blow your cone of cold. Your cone of cold is a 10-second cooldown with an 11-second slow. So you have 1 second to pop cone of cold and keep them slowed. Go in a circle. You see how it almost looks like they're one model. There's like 8 of them in there, or 9 even. See, I got a little dangerous there. That was a little close. Make sure you have your mana gems. You're going to need them. The good thing about waiting and not casting other spells in between and only doing Cone of Cold is your spirit ticks. After 5 seconds, your MP5 obviously, you get a spirit tick, which you're going to need. And you just kite him in a circle like this. I think I'll blow 1 more Cone of Cold and I'll use my mana gem. Keeping them tightly. It's okay if you get hit every now and then, don't panic. The worst thing you could do is panic and start blowing other spells. Or if you do get a resist, I don't know if it'll happen in this encounter or not. If you do get a resist, you almost got caught on the box there. If you do get a resist, your ice armor should pick it up. You'll slow him enough to where as long as you're going in a circle, you'll take a hit, 2 hits maybe. And he'll get back into line. and you'll be fine. So just remember, don't panic. It's easy to do. You have 10 elites chasing you. So we're gonna blow a mana pot here to be able to finish. We got probably 2 Cone of Colds left in mana, maybe with a Spirit Ticker too. Wasn't perfectly clean. You get the idea. Shit ton of XP. Yeah. So they die. You loot them. This is good for up to 120k XP an hour, depending on your speed, how many of these you pull, your efficiency, and it's also good for 30 gold an hour. So, yeah, level 44, not a bad idea.
Out of range. Too far away.
So I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna click all these and
I
loot them.
can't loot that right now.
I think I got to like right here. I don't want to try moving those yet, because I don't want any zombies coming out, but... Yeah, so that's pretty much it. When you get comfortable, you can pull... Obviously, this is all covered in graves when you start. This is all covered in graves, and this whole side over here is covered in graves. So you could do 3 pulls. As you get higher level, obviously like level 60 farm in here, you could pull the entire thing. You know, go through, click them, put your ice barrier up, keep clicking them, whatever. Have your XPers come back here and hop up on this ledge. As long as they're back here in that corner, nothing can attack them, and they'll get all the XP from this. As you're leveling, I suggest doing 3 pulls, or even more, doesn't matter. You can kind of go at your own pace and do it as you get comfortable. The run back's not horrible from Daenerys to here, but yeah, it is an instance, so you have to make the run all the way through the instance again to get back to this point, which after you do it a few times is fairly easy. You're gonna wipe, you're gonna die 5, 6, 7 times maybe before you get the path down, the LOS behind the box down, you know, everything down to where you're not dying. You'll get frustrated, you'll feel like it's not worth it, but eventually you just kind of clicks, and XP just starts pouring in, and the gold starts pouring in, and you're like, you know, wow, okay. So, only other tip I would give is when you're doing your circling, and you backpedal for your Cone of Cold. So I'm circling, if these guys are the pack, I'm circling around, I get to here, I backpedal, I blow my Cone of Cold as I'm backpedaling, okay? And I don't immediately come back out of it like that, because the stop and then the movement again will give them leeway and they'll pop you. So going around, I go to backpedal, I blow my back, I keep backpedaling for just a second, and then I go back. They're going to be slow, plenty slower than what you are doing this, promise you. So when you blow your Cone of Cold, do yourself a favor, continue to backpedal for just a second before you take off again. There's nothing worse than backpedaling, blowing Cone of Cold, taking off, and then fucking getting one shot by 12 mobs. So that was probably the main thing that I had to learn to do that I couldn't see in the videos that I had watched or people that had told me how to do it. So yeah, like if you liked the video, dislike if you didn't like the video. I tried to hit everything that I know to do for this run. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.